This is a certified hood classic.
Damn, bro, they done said hip-hop is dying, bro. Hey, bro, but how long have we heard this, though? Like, I mean, it's been a long time. Like, I remember back in the day, even when Lil Wayne was coming up, he was like, hip-hop is dead. They done killed hip-hop, yada, yada. Nah, man, I don't know, man. I saw something interesting saying that the producers, the people that made the beats are killing hip-hop. And I don't exactly agree with that. Like, I don't say the producers are killing hip-hop. I don't say that. But what I will say is that the listeners though, because I feel like we all got a little bit of role into it. Somebody, the producers making these beats that's just, you know, the beats be cold, but they ain't like unique anymore. You know what I'm saying? Then these rappers, they wildin'. Now these rappers wild, they on some other weird shit. Hip hop has turned a weird ass corner, bro, like a while back that I'm just like, damn, boy, y'all niggas is weird now. And then another, and I'm not talking about everybody, bro. Like, it's just a certain margin. It ain't everybody. But then another thing is the fans. The fans are like, you know, I'm a part of all of that. I'm a part of all of that on every level. But I'm just saying, like, the fans, they want different things, bro. Like, a lot of people into these days into more female hip hop. It's just like it's turned over, like it's just like done a 360. It's just weird, bro. So look, man, we get ready to check this out, man. Y'all do your boy favor, man. Hit the like button, go to the bell, subscribe to your boy, man. I appreciate y'all being over on the new page. Without further ado, let's get started.
Sir, now hip-hop isn't really dead, but the path the genre is on is leading to certain aspects of the genre dying. An important conversation right here, and if you appreciate a raw conversation like this,
Boy, half Deadpool, half nigga.
drop a like and don't be stingy. This has actually been on my mind for quite some time.
What's
I'm
the
sure
word?
you might have a few things to say about it, and I want to start this conversation by taking a look at this article from Billboard. Essentially, they talk about why hip-hop has been on the decline on the charts. Although this is the article that I'm leading this video with, this conversation that I'm going to have in this video is actually way deeper than what this article is going to talk about.
You know, I notice a lot too. Like, you know, they used to be really focused on lyrics too back in the day. And you know, a lot of times these days, everybody want to fucking sing and they can't sing. Then they get this auto-tune, they feel like they can. That shit, take that shit off. I would go so far as to say, well, how auto-tune killed hip-hop. That'd be another good, that's another good topic, bro. That's another good topic. How auto-tune single-handedly fucked hip-hop.
Simply
You know what I'm
gonna
saying?
start this convo with this article, and then I'll take it from there. With that being said, let's check out this article. As the halfway point of 2023 approaches, hip-hop has yet to grace the top of either the Billboard Hot 100 or the Billboard Top 200 Albums chart. By the beginning of last June, 2022 already boasted #1 albums
Damn,
from
I
6
haven't
different
seen.
rappers: Gunna, Lil Durk.
Hold on. Gunna album I haven't checked out. Lil Durk album I checked out a few things. Tyler the Creator album I'm not checking out. Pusha T, no. Future, I fuck with his album. Kendrick, I fuck with his album. Jack Harlow is cool. Drake, I definitely. Damn, bro. Are you serious?
Tyler the Creator, Pusha
I'm just
T,
looking.
Future, and Kendrick Lamar. Over on the Hot 100, even amidst Harry Styles. I don't listen to that. Historic 15 Week, As It Was. Actually, that's a good song. Let me take that back. I like that song. As It Was, Rain, rap hits from Jack Harlow, First Class, and Future and Drake. Wait For You secured runs at #1 by last year's halfway mark. So this article, which a lot of y'all have been sending me, is essentially about how hip-hop hasn't been dominating the charts like it was in the past. So much to the point where half of the year is gone and there's yet a hip-hop album that's charted at #1 this year. Now, that was until the Pink Tape, which I got some things to say about. That's another conversation. And that's kind of surprising now that I think about it. It's not something I even noticed, mostly because I don't put too much stock in what's hot on the charts, but obviously I'll pay attention to it and I see it, and I know that's usually what the masses pay attention to the most. So this time last year, there are
like, bro, because you know, nowadays they look at artists like J. Cole and they say J. Cole boring. I be like, man, nigga, what the fuck is you talking? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is you talking about? Like, what is you talking about? They say, like, I remember when people kept saying J. Cole was boring. I'm like, how, bruh? That nigga actually speaking about something and he ain't doing that dumb shit. I like Future. You know what I'm saying? Remember when they said Future was the wave of the mumble rap? He wasn't, bro. Like, if you go listen to a lot of Future songs, this shit is deep. It just ain't all extra lyrical, like technical and lyrical, but that shit is deep. A lot of these people saying some shit that's deep, but the vast majority of these rappers is not really saying shit, and that is the problem. And a lot of people keep promoting it, bro. You keep on telling your homeboy, go, oh man, my homeboy, blah, 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 but your homeboy can't fucking rap. How about that? Your homeboy can't rap. Tell that nigga he can't rap. Damn. And these beats, the only fruity beats that we had was coming from Zaytoven and Gucci Man. And them niggas was doing that shit. Nowadays, I just don't know. I just don't know.
Bunch of #1 rap albums like the article mentioned. And in this year, we're kind of going through this dip where, that's not really happening. Now, just from some of the numbers I've been looking at and seeing, hip-hop is far from in danger, if you will. Overall, it is, after all, the fastest growing genre, and it's been like that for some time now. I think hip-hop, especially in the last decade, has just seen such an influx of listeners and revenue to the point where it is being prioritized in a lot of spaces because that's what's making the money, right? That's especially true for the record labels, which we're going to talk a lot about in this video. A lot of major record labels for the last couple years have made it their life mission to allocate a lot of their funds and attention to signing hip-hop acts specifically. And that's obviously the case because that's where the money is right now. Rappers also have a pretty fast turnover rate, and how that connects to the music industry is, out of, let's say, 100 rappers a record label signs, at least 80% of those rappers, statistically speaking, are going to fail. Now, failure not meaning that they won't be able to sustain their career and find some type of success in their own way, more so failure in terms of how a record label views it, because they sign you with the hopes of getting a return on that investment, right? Plain and simple, it's just business, and there's a cap and limit on how much of their resources can actually be allotted to every single act that gets signed. Now, the budget is there, but in a lot of ways, it's not there because these labels are signing so many people, and in the process, they're losing a lot of money.
Yeah, and they're not really pushing people anymore. Like, they're not really taking the time to say, okay, I'm gonna push this person. And a lot of people, here's another thing. A lot of artists don't have any artist development. Like, a lot of these people getting signed, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're signed. You're a part of us. We'll get you a little bit of money. We'll get you a dedicated studio. We'll get you an image or a PR team." But that's just it. It's not really their PR team, and the PR is press release, people that do promotion, people that manage images and image consultants. They don't have like a whole team that's just dedicated for them. Where these artists really go fuck up at is they get their money, and instead of them reinvesting it back into them, getting a social media manager like getting a music manager, getting a coach, a musical coach, developing their sound. They think, oh, I'm good. I'm already here. I'm good. No, you still got to develop yourself, bro. And then they spend a lot of their time buying jewelry, buying things that depreciate. Like a big thing over in the hip hop community, getting bust down rollie. Do you know what a bust down rollie is? Well, if you don't, I'm gonna explain it to you, bro. A bust down rollie is a bullshit ass watch, and I'm gonna tell you why. Is a Rolex a bad watch? No. Does it look like a bad watch? No. Is it an investment? Yes. You go buy a regular Rolex and you put that on your wrist, that is supposed to be an investment. And years later, you're supposed to be able to. Rolex prices fluctuate up and down, but you're supposed to be able to sell it either for the same or more than what you bought it for theoretically, all right? So that's why it's supposed to be an investment. Once you go into the jewelry business, you learn, and I'm in the jewelry business now. Once you go into that, you learn if you bust it down means that you put a whole bunch of fucking holes in it and add diamonds to it. Once you bust it down and add diamonds to it, it loses its value. In fact, Rolex won't even work on it no more. You see what I'm saying? Why am I saying all of this? Because it's part of hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? They'll go buy something that depreciates, that as soon as you bust it down, it's depreciated. It's done. It's finito. It only has value inside the hip hop community, and that's a very small community. They go buy a whole bunch of shit like that don't make sense. And they don't spend a lot of time to reinvest in themselves. Then we get crap music. Then they fall the fuck off. And now they got all these loans and shit to pay back. The record labels don't have. It's a problem.
However, they make it all back when they sign someone who makes up for all the other failed acts. So that 20% that either breaks even or succeeds is the reason why they're banking on signing so many people. And it's really a game of how many shots can we take, because at some point, one of those shots is going to go in. Not only that, one of those 100 shots is probably going to make up for all the other 99 people who we gave a record deal to and signed. So that's the way the industry is set up right now, period. And it's always been like that. But now what's happened is everything is about filling quotas. It's not how can we serve this artist to become the greatest artist they can possibly become. It's how can we market this artist and make them appear as someone who's greater than what they actually are. Jay-Z said it the best. One time Hove made a great point about how greatness actually takes time to develop. And these days, no one wants to put in the time to reach that greatness. I.e. nobody wants to put in the time.
There is no more Lil Wayne's, I'm going to put in, I'm going to dedicate my life to the studio. A lot of them want to make music, go fuck a whole bunch of bitches and go off and yada yada. Okay, that's cool. But like he said, bro, it take time to be great, bro. The difference between good and great is that hard work, bro. You know what I'm saying? And hard work beats talent, bro. You can always outdo a nigga that's talented, but they ain't putting in hard work.
It's especially true for the labels, right? Major labels don't want to take the time to develop these artists because delayed gratification. The industry needs to make money now, like today, and that's at the expense of not only the artists but also the quality of the music. How can we market this music and artists in the quickest way possible to as many people as possible while spending the least amount of money as possible while making back the most amount of money? Now that right there is a problem, because with the money being the focal point, what do you think takes a back seat? That's right, the art. The last thing the industry wants to do now is to develop talent into super talent. The industry now wants to find subpar talent with no foundation, prop it up and make it look more grand than it actually is, and market that talent to give off the perception of talent that has been developed.
And now a lot of times, bro, you got to look at who's owning these labels too, man. There's a whole bunch of people that aren't black. What do I mean by that, bro? Before I start getting people that's gonna be upset, a lot of times, bro, a lot of these acts in hip hop is mostly gonna be black people, right? Now it's like while I was just talking about the whole Rolex and the whole, that whole thing, there's a lot of that going around in the industry. But here's another big thing, bro. We don't really market ourselves because it's like we don't take the time to develop and do things ourselves. We don't have the proper people. It shouldn't be up to the label to develop an artist anymore because, and I'm telling you why, because at this point in time, there's more money in the industry. These artists are getting more money, at the least they should be. And here's another thing, bro. There's so many outlets to be able to do everything that you need to do. They are just not using it because they either don't know or they do know and they don't care because they don't think it's worth it. But now what these labels should do is they should make it mandatory, but they don't really care. They about making money. So that's why I said a lot of black people are more, they into that shit to make money, but a lot of black people like hip hop, period. So they're going to be more invested. And a lot of people like hip hop. It's not just black people. But I'm just saying a lot of black people are into hip hop or into rap or into R&B, whatever, and shit like that. And they're going to be more invested in making sure the artist gets better, gets decent over time because they're the ones listening to the music.
Because developing talent not only takes time, it takes money and it takes resources. The shortcut to that is what they're doing right now. They're discovering an artist who has the potential to appear as a star. The music might even be amazing, but the foundation might be shaky. But it don't matter as long as money can be made. It don't matter as long as we can keep this artist in a position to be seen. Because at some point, due to the nature of constantly getting exposed to something, we as human beings, we eventually find something that we like about the very thing we're getting exposed to. This is marketing 101. If you can put something in front of people time and time again, a percentage of those people will start to find good aspects of whatever it is that's being marketed towards them. Now, Ice Spice, who I put on a thumbnail, is a good example of this. Bless her lovely little heart. I have nothing negative to say about
bless that fat ass. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Like without the looks, it's like I'm a baddie with her baddie friends. She's a baddie with her baddie. Like, bro, that is that. But see, I don't count that as hip hop. I count that as feel good party music. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with feel good, make people pop off, make people have a good time music. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us was born off of make people have good time music, bro. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? If your dad ain't met your mom in the club and shit, and he ain't look at your mom and be like, damn, that's a fat ass, you would never be here today. You know what I'm saying? They need a little ice spice, you know what I'm saying, to make you feel good. But the only problem is that turns into the whole hip hop. Everybody wants to be an Ice Spice. Nobody wants to be a J. Cole. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody want to focus on what the fuck they actually saying. You know what I'm saying? They just want to focus on making some quick music, some, you know what I'm saying, some bullshit.
About the young woman's character,
Ain't
but,
really, you know.
but as an artist and as a brand, she's a great example of this exposure
She's a great
theory we're
brand.
discussing.
I ain't gonna
She
lie.
came in the game with this song called
A
Munch.
thick brand.
The song was blowing up and going viral on social media about a year ago, and I vividly remember how the first 2 weeks it was going up, everybody had something negative to say about it. A couple weeks passed and people went from clowning the song to being indifferent to the song to liking the song
you
to
see it
loving
and
the
hear
song
it
to then
everywhere.
becoming a fan of Ice Spice.
That shit is worse than the fucking radio, bro. I'm telling y'all. Social media is worse than the radio. You hear shit so much. You see it shit. You see people dancing to it. And it's hard to ignore a nice fat ass when you scrolling down on Instagram. They do that shit on purpose, bro. You hear me? It's hard to ignore a nice fat ass. When you see that ass moving and Ice Spice is playing in the background, the shit gets stuck in your head. Now, next thing you know, you out there, you better with her baby friend. Just saying some shit, bro. And I'm not picking on Ice Spice. Shout out to Ice Spice. You know what I'm saying? Girl, you bad, you doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta know the difference between party, feel good music and then actual hip hop. Like some real ass shit, bro. You hear
Spice,
me?
how interesting.
Real lyrics.
I'm not saying that she's universally loved, quite the opposite actually, but I like Ice Spice more now that I've been exposed to her presence in comparison to when she initially came out. So who's to blame for this, you might ask? Well, the labels, because they're controlling 90% of the music that's surfacing to the top. One of the bigger
Not really.
reasons why hip-hop is able to dominate the charts in the first place has to do with the fact that hip-hop is being prioritized over a lot of other genres by the labels, i.e. these records that eventually go number one have a lot of money behind them, because getting your record spun on all these major radio stations actually costs money, and so the quality of the music has taken a back seat because the priority is how can we make back the money on this album we're investing all these resources into. And with
Well, I don't know, bro, because with social media now these days, bro, the record labels don't actually have to spend that much money to get the radio plays and get it in front of places. They really just need to pay a lot of money on production, and ads I think are a lot cheaper these days because artists can connect directly to their fan base these days. That's why it's easier to blow up these days. So look, if you haven't blown up with your music, you need to take a step back and relook at it like, okay, am I promoting it on TikTok? Am I promoting it on YouTube? Am I promoting it on here? There, blah, blah. If you're doing everything, you still haven't blown up yet, then you need to go back into the studio and redo your shit. Because it's just not fucking working. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying with labels and shit. They ask, you know what I'm saying? It's easier now to promote these days. So I think hip hop is very popular because hip hop is just very popular. I don't think it's because they're putting hella money into it, which I know they are. But I don't think it's because they're putting hella money into it. I think hip hop is popular because, you know, that we motherfuckers set a trend. And, you know what I'm saying? And that shit, like, I'm talking about hip-hop in the general. We set a trend, and, you know, that trend is dope. That shit is it's a movement,
with that
bro.
being the case, who do you think controls the kind of music that actually gets released? It ain't the artist. And in a lot of ways, and this is the scary part, the artist is now like the supporting opinion to the main opinion. And the main opinion is the label. They're really calling all the shots, and the artist is merely involved in support of that shot. So artists have literally, and we're gonna touch on this in a second, but rappers and artists universally have submitted their power to these corporations in hopes of becoming this big success. What does this exactly mean? Well, let's keep on talking.
When you look at them white kids with Raiders hats on, it's the white folks getting pimped. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm making their future. I'm writing down their curriculum. Right now, what I write in my album today, when it comes out in 2 months, that's what white kids is doing.
Damn.
So who really is getting pimped?
Tupac versus the industry.
See, now
I want to watch more videos about Tupac.
At one point
I
used
fuck
to be
with my
silent.
boy right there, man.
There's a
You know we got the same birthday, June 16th, bro, on some real
time
shit.
when we had rappers like
I said on
Pac
some
who
real
was
tit. I
in
mean, on
the
some real
industry
shit.
but never let the industry take the one thing he had which was his authentic voice. Despite
Right.
being a part of the industry, he never conformed to the standards of it. He kept a real outside and inside of the music, and that came with a lot of pushback. Labels didn't actually want Tupac in his purest form. They wanted a Pac they could mold into whatever it is they wanted to create him into, and he knew this.
Right, for sure.
Pac on
They definitely want to control you. They definitely want to control. If they can't control you, nigga, control is money. Money is control. They tell you they can want to be able to say, look, hey, Pac, look, man, scratch all that music shit. You good with this? You good with these movies? We're gonna sign you to another deal. We're gonna sign you to another deal. We want all your royalties. We're gonna put you on this dress, and we want, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna put on some lipstick on you, and you know, and now you're gonna be rapping for the LGBTQ community. You know what I'm saying? But that's fine if that's the artist that Tupac was, but that's not the artist that he was. You know what I'm saying? So when they try to control him and shit, telling him what he will and will not do, it never went over well with him, bro. And it don't go over well with most real men. I put like real men. Don't matter what nationality you are, or it don't even matter what gender you prefer to identify as, or for lack of better words, fuck. It doesn't matter what the fuck you choose to do. A real man is a real man, bro. You know what I'm saying? So a real man gonna handle business, and a real man can't be controlled, bro. So that's why I fuck with Tupac.
Several occasions spoke about what he didn't like about labels and the industry. This is something that was depicted on the movie All Eyes on Me.
June
Before Pac
16th
signed
in
Interscope
theaters,
Records,
June
he had this
16th.
meeting with two label executives
My
who
birthday,
just
you hear me?
didn't understand what he
birthday.
was trying to do with his music. What happened specifically was they didn't like the idea of him releasing the song Brenda's Got a Baby.
And think
Now, that's a
about why
classic
didn't they
record,
like
but
that?
obviously the music industry's focus is
Why
entertaining
didn't they?
people and not emotionally
Because they want to control shit.
moving people.
They
We
want
do
to
have
control shit.
A couple thoughts, however. Little stuff. Like maybe a couple of the tracks that we just hold off on for now.
Like what?
Brenda's Got a Baby.
So you know who I am, and you know my music, and you think that I would actually scrap that song?
Well, to be blunt, Brenda's Got a Baby is depressing.
Now, in
It
the
don't
end,
matter,
Pac and
nigga.
Interscope
It ain't
started seeing
music
eye
for
to eye,
you.
But that was only when
Looking like a nigga from The Office, bro.
Tupac was
Shit
able to
ain't for you.
vocalize to the label executives why this record was so important to release. The only thing they see is, can this be marketed as it is? Pac, however, like the genius that he was, flipped it on him and said, I am the market. This is new, this is fresh, and this record is actually going to impact people on an emotional level. And he was right, because Brenda's Got a Baby came out on October 20, 1991, and here I am talking about it 31 years later. The only reason why Tupac was able
And it's still relevant. That's another. It's sad. That's sad, but it's still
to
relevant.
get his way is because he actually believed in his way so much to the point that he was willing to walk away. Rappers these days are not willing to walk away from the industry. They're walking towards the industry, already being willing to conform and sacrifice their authenticity in order to join ship, just so they can have this big infrastructure backing them up, i.e. a record label. And so what happens is the artists have given their power away to the industry because they want to make it in this. There's still that 20% who've maintained their power, but the majority gives it up, and so that has an effect on
Man, that's
hip-hop
why I fuck with
across
J.
the
Cole,
board,
bruh.
because
I
the
fuck
bulk
with
of the
him.
rappers in the game follow suit. And how
And J. Cole came down here when we had that Mike Brown shooting, bro. Like, when we had that Mike Brown shooting, J. Cole, and I'm proud to say it, out of all the rappers, and this is what I know, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to say this shit with confidence. J. Cole was the first rapper to come down to St. Louis. Hear what I'm saying. J. Cole was the first rapper to come down to St. Louis and be in the trenches without no fucking tweet, without no fucking press, without no fucking cameras or videos. He was just down here supporting, bro. The fact that he came down, bro. I wasn't the biggest J. Cole fan at the time. The fact that he came down made me say, let me go take a deep dive into J. Cole as an artist. To this day, if J. Cole drops an album, I know we don't really do this no more, but I would fuck around and find a way to buy it, nigga. I will go to the store and buy it. I don't give a fuck. I won't listen to a CD or nothing like that. I'm not saying that, but I will find a way to get that man some money, bro. I support him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, bro. Straight up. I straight up support J. Cole.
How does that affect the genre?
And he signed St.
The
Louis
quality
artists,
diminishes, and the music is not as pure as it could be, because not only are we dropping a bunch now to satisfy the quotas of the industry, but the majority of what we're dropping has no soul, because you gave your soul to be in this industry. You conformed, and that directly has a negative effect on the actual quality, because now we're not connecting with the rapper in his authentic form. We're connecting with a malleable version of the rapper that the industry has created. So the place the music is being dropped from is an inauthentic place. It's coming from the wrong place, because so many of our artists have decided to conform to the industry standard. And since the industry standard is we want to make a bunch of money, are you on the same page? The 80% rapper says, yes, I want to make a bunch of money. What exactly do you need me to do? If you say jump, 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 I will jump, jump.
They don't have money, bro. They coming from nothing, so it's hard not to say. I'm not judging them. I'm not gonna sit there and judge no rapper, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna judge him based off of money. He found a way, bro. Imagine that. Like, be moral. Don't get paid. Stay in the hood. Your mama's still starving. Go find a job. Try to make things work. That's fine. It's fine if you know what to do. Some of them don't know what to do, and they've never been in the hood. I don't know if my boy even doing this video. I don't know. I don't even know his background. But when you haven't been in the hood, and you never seen your mama struggle, I'm talking about struggle. And it's not just your mom, your dad too, you hear me? Seeing them struggle, you know what I'm saying, period, bro. You never, you know what I'm saying, you ain't never fucking, I don't know, bro. Just do some shit, bro, like made a fried bologna sandwich because that's all you had to eat. Not because that's what you wanted to eat. It's all you had to eat, bro. Take a motherfucking hot dog. You ain't had no bread. Take a piece of cheese, wrap that shit around and eat it like that, bitch. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm talking about, bro, like, you ain't worried about new school clothes, bro. You just happy that you got something. You just happy that you got something. You ain't worried about the newest shit. You just happy that you got something. And then you don't even complain about it because you know your mom, your mom or your parents didn't work hard to get it for you, no matter what it was. That is the type of shit that you got to remember when you start talking about these rappers getting these money, getting these chains, getting everything. They just have never actually had shit like that. And then in our culture with our women, now our women expect niggas to be younger and younger and younger and to have a six-figure lifestyle to support them. And nobody talks about that in hip-hop. The women in hip-hop, they want thugs, they want scammers, they want niggas that's dying or going to jail. You know what I'm saying? They want you to be pulling up to prom with a Rolls Royce. You see all these prom pictures? Go look at all these young black urban prom pictures, bro. That shit is ridiculous, bro. I'm telling you. All of that shit goes back into hip-hop culture because it's the music we listen to that goes into hip-hop artists, that goes into all of this shit, bro. All of this shit is connected, bro. That's all I'm trying to say.
Jump if you say
I know
sit,
I'm
sit
ranting,
down,
but I'm saying it's all connected.
Down. If you say bark, 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 I will roof, roof, roof.
So you can't get mad at them. All I'm saying is you can't get mad at them if they get a little bit of money and they quote sell their soul because they never had no fucking money. Now we are just at a point where, bro, if we got some real artists in the industry, we got to uplift them. Some artists that really be there doing that shit. If you got you a little bit of money and you made them little albums and you showed to satisfy the fucking label, now it's time to go work on yourself, work on your craft, get better.
Bark, bark, bark. And then there's that 20% who says, yes, I want to make a bunch of money, but what comes with making this money? These are the artists who have similar spirits to guys like Kendrick or J. Cole. See, these guys have made so much money, it's not even funny, and
Facts.
They did it righteously. They didn't conform. That's only because they knew their value before the industry saw value in them. So many rappers wait for the industry to co-sign their value before they co-sign themselves. Approaching it from that perspective, when the industry does co-sign you, since the validation is what you are always chasing, you're willing to give it all away for chump chains. And that's what happens when you're chasing the validation of the industry. That's how they get you. Most rappers just don't know their intrinsic value as artists.
Most people don't know their value.
Benefits who? the labels. A person who
people
doesn't know
don't
their
know their
value is
value.
more likely to get taken advantage of. They're more likely to mold themselves after the expectations of the outside world, which that really goes for anything, but especially if you want to make it in the rap industry and the music industry, period. We're so quick to conform, it's literally chipping away at our beloved genre that is hip-hop. Hip-hop has been infiltrated beyond anything I've seen, man, and the saddest part is, with the way things are set up right now, there's absolutely no going back. Record labels got too much power. The average rapper is willing.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe that it start off with videos like this, the one that I'm doing, videos like what he doing. You got to identify the problem, and then the solutions are very simple, bro. Just like the solutions for Hollywood, it starts off on the local level. It starts off with the artist. Now, we was I'm sure a lot of artists, I'm a music artist. A lot of artists gonna watch this, and they might think like, damn, all right, cool. Instead of me going to a label, let me go learn some things for myself, build me up a team, and actually make it for myself. Actually put out music and make it for myself. Now, when you do it from that way, you kind of, you know what I'm saying? You kind of can still conform, because then you still thinking about like, oh yeah, but I want to be marketable. I want to market myself to the industry. But you'll have a lot more creative control over your shit when you do it yourself. You
To
know
give
what I'm
away
saying?
their
That's it.
soul for a $20,000 advance. Shit, even $10K to be fair. And the music is not only lacking in quality, but it's also lacking in heart. It's lacking in conscious. 80% of rappers are sleepwalking through the industry. They're not even conscious. They've been sleepwalking through this shit, following the lead of the standard that's been set in place for them, not realizing they actually have the power to set the standard. But for that to happen, it goes back to what I said earlier, giving your unique power away and conforming to the industry agenda, which is make dollar signs, when really we should be putting the art first and not be so thirsty for them to let us inside the door, right? The average rapper right now is like that famished dog who's dying to eat that piece of meat because he's starving. Once they see that you're fiending for that key, like a dope fiend is fiending for that next hit of crack, they're gonna hypnotize you and make you hyper focus on a key, dangle it in front of you so you lose sight of what really matters, which is your authentic voice in its purest form. For you to keep your authentic voice, you can't look at getting inside the club as the end all be all. The quicker artists realize that you're the club the industry is trying to have access to, the quicker we're going to see a shift in the genre for the greater good.
And then also know that your fans, you can have like, just like YouTube, bro. I could be a 1 million subscriber channel, and the nigga down the block can have never heard from me. It's so many people in this world. Is the social media touches so many people that at this point, bro, you can have. I'm like, you know, Mr. Beast got 100 million so people. If I go over to my dad, which is 60 something years old, I think 67. I should know that. But if I go over my dad, I go to my dad and be like, "Hey, look, Mr. Beast. You know who Mr. Beast is, blah blah." He not gonna know who Mr. Beast is. You get what I'm saying? He doesn't know who Mr. Beast is. And Mr. Beast has over 100 million followers. You get what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is, bro, there are so many people in this world that you can have a fan base, make a lot of money, and people still don't even fucking know who you are. You get what I'm saying? And that is dope. That's not marketable to record labels because they need global, universal appeal for them to make money. But artists on this level nowadays, nigga, you don't need a label. You can go do all that shit yourself. Go to CD Baby. Not CD Baby. Go to DistroKid. Sign up for a DistroKid account. $30 a month. Unlimited shit you could put on online to hit every market. Boom. Get you a YouTube page. Start doing other shit, bro. Start vlogging your life. Start doing your other shit. Get your TikTok page. Start performing live on your TikTok page. Do all this shit. If you really want to make it, you can make it. You can make money off of it, bro. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that. So I feel like we can change that. I feel like we can change it.
Also, stop giving your unique power away by waiting for the industry to validate you. If we can get that back, okay, if we can just get that in check, I think that will disrupt the whole genre in a good way, and in return, we're going to be able to speak life into the culture in ways we couldn't even imagine. Now, just some additional thoughts on this topic right here. The thing about hip-hop now, and just music in general now, the music industry, the last thing the industry wants now is for artists to take their time with music, because the industry is a machine that has to keep on getting fed, and If that nutrition stops, the quality of the nutrition doesn't matter. If it stops, the industry is going to stop. And so artists have conformed to that standard that was set by the industry.
Right.
And why do artists conform? Well, artists conform because they see other people conforming. And the majority of the industry, I mean, just majority of people in general are sheep, right? So if an industry is changing from the inside out, what's going to happen is anyone who's inside that industry, most people, 80%, 90% of people, they're going to conform because they see other people conform. And so we have this cycle of monkey see, monkey do, and then in the end, the quality of the music ends up taking a hit, like a huge hit. I mean, think about it like this. Do you think people are actually listening to albums now? Are people actually listening to albums now? What happened when Kendrick, one of the greatest rappers of this fucking generation, dropped his last project? What happened? People's attention spans are goldfish status now. People couldn't even pay attention to the theme of the project. People couldn't even pay attention to what he was saying in that album. You don't hear a lot of music fans talking about it. A lot of hip-hop fans are not talking about that project. Why? It went against the grain. I think that album by Kendrick was almost like a test to hip-hop. Can y'all digest this? Let me give you guys this. I'm gonna give you guys this body of work, and I'm gonna see if you guys can digest it. Not just that. I'm gonna see if you guys are gonna be willing to try to digest it. And what happened? What Jay-Z say? Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? Clearly, a lot of y'all motherfuckers are skimming through music now. I don't think people are.
I think people just listen for the beat. They listen for the beat. They listen for melodic sound. That's it. That's what it's come down to.
Are really listening like they used to, and that's the biggest thing. The listener is also changing. It's not just that the industry is changing. It's how the listener is receiving the music. That's also changing. And so we're going through this behavioral change in the industry, from inside of it and then outside of it. So the people making the music are changing their authentic ways of creating the music, like the artists, right, in hip-hop, and just the music industry in general, but specifically hip-hop. The artist is changing. The artist is letting themselves get molded into what the industry wants them to be, and so they create a body of work that fits right in line with that. Like, honestly, I just don't think people really want to hear albums now. People don't want to listen to albums now. And then we're sitting here acting surprised why the quality of the music getting dropped is so subpar. It's subpar because we're not listening. We're not listening with our ears and our minds and our hearts. The music is kind of getting played and we're not really hearing what the artist is saying. But the biggest issue is a lot of artists are not even trying to say anything now. They're just saying a bunch of words. There's no purpose behind the words. There's no intention. There's no spirit behind the words. So of course it's gonna fall on deaf ears. You're not making anything worth for me to listen to. And that's not all artists. I'm saying just as a whole in general, right? Obviously I'm talking about the mainstream and I'm talking about the things that are coming to the surface, because we got to keep in mind, even though there's a lot of artists, there's a lot of artists that are not conforming. Most artists are gonna conform. Most artists are always gonna conform.
You're damn right.
Because that's the easy thing. And because doing it your own way actually takes a lot of heart and it takes a different kind of spirit.
Man, look, I gotta stop, bro, right there. Where I couldn't have said it best. I think I couldn't have said it better. I think that honestly what he just said is solid, period. It take heart. It take heart, bro. It take heart to say that, you know, people are bouncing and dipping and you gonna slide and whatever. It don't matter it doesn't matter. Going against the grain take heart because everybody gonna look at you like you're fucking crazy. People gonna look at you like you're crazy. And when you decide to do something new for yourself, people gonna look at you like you crazier because you're not doing what everybody else doing. When I decided to do YouTube, niggas was looking at me like I was crazy. I remember even my child's mom, and I hate to get this specific, even my child's mom said, for a while, I didn't know what the fuck you were doing. Like, that told me this. This told me, it's not negative. This told me this. Nobody knew what the fuck I had going on. They just said, this nigga is lost it. He want to turn on the fucking camera, sit in the room, talk to himself. My vision isn't that, though. My vision is so far ahead of, I'm not talking to a camera, I'm speaking to people. But when I go and check the comments and we talk, these comments aren't just fucking zeros and ones on a fucking on a piece of metal. These comments are people. They're avatars. They're representations of people. This is a point in my life, a point in time that I'm documenting in my life, and I'm giving it to y'all. These are the discussions that we need to be having in the world these days. I am making a connection from me to whoever is listening and watching, and he is making a connection, and you will make connections. And when you post things online, that is connections. And when you drop music, that is staples in times, whether it's country music, rock music, rap music, doesn't matter what it is, bro. You are documenting events and times and ideas and thoughts and so many different things, and these things are influencing people on a micro level, and then micro level, because of social media, blows everything up, and now it's been produced on a mass level. All right. And so I just know that, man, it matters what you say, it matters what you do, it matters what you put out. And I used to not think that shit so much, but now these days even more, I know that shit is to be true. So I apologize for the rant, but I definitely think that for the people that stick around and want to hear it, this is something that needs to be heard. But I'm looking for your opinion, man. The topic was why hip hop is dying. Let me know what you think, if you're a part of the hip hop culture. And if you have something to say about anything in here, because we like to talk a lot, but just go down in the comments, let your boy know, man. Without further ado, man, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.